Hey trainers, AlaKaHAMM here with the next round from the Summer Hamm Go Battle League tournament that I'm hosting with members of my Facebook community. So today the folks who have decided to play along are SWIFTicune and Gmoney, two of my earliest and longest standing supporters, so I really appreciate it. They both mutually decided that they would battle in the Great League, so that's what we're going to see, and let's get right into the battles. We are looking at SWIFTicune's perspective. We've got Scrafty on the lead versus Houndoom. This is a pretty bad matchup for Houndoom, so Gmoney is going to switch immediately into Alolan Ninetales. A-Tails is going to do super effective damage with that Charm fast move, but of course Acid Spray as a poison type move would be super effective against A-Tails as well. So SWIFTicune did really nice switch management there, launching the attack and then switching out into the Charizard. You would think Charizard would be a good response to an Ice type, but this Charizard happens to be a Dragon Breath user, and Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw are not going to be enough to feint out this Ninetales. So we will see a shield to block that Weather Ball. Ice type attacks are going to be doing neutral against the Charizard because of the flying typing. And SWIFTicune is able to land a Blast Burn, and that is, I believe, because Gmoney wanted to let that go and preserve that shield for the end game. So that's very good shield management there. We do see a foul play coming out against the Scrafty, but that little fighter has enough health to be able to farm down the big bad dog. So yeah, SWIFTicune switching out here to try and go for a Frenzy Plant against the Alolan Raichu, but Psychic does super effective damage against poison types, so that was really good timing on Gmoney's part and a really great win. And there was not much that Venusaur was going to be able to do at the end of the game there, so GG, right? Okay, this time SWIFTicune has a negative lead again, going up against a Galarian Stunfisk, which will be doing super effective damage against his lead, and also probably against the Alolan Ninetales. If it has either Steel or Rock moves, it's going to be pretty bad. And and it has Flash Cannon. You don't see that very often, but it does one-shot Alolan Ninetales. So A-Tails going down there. And Slowbro is not going to make the same mistake. Slowbro is going to shield up that attack. And we see, oh, how cool. We see a switch into Alolan Executor. So this is a Dragon Grass type. Pretty interesting typing. But those Seed Bombs are going to be doing super effective damage against the Slowbro. So that's going to be chunking away. And this is so goofy. Just coconut faces up on a long neck. It's just a giraffe. It's a fruit giraffe. In any case, we have the Raichu coming back in, and oh yeah, so electric attacks are resisted by grass, and this Executor is going to be able to get off another charge move, and then in comes Grand Bull, and a shiny Grand Bull at that. That is very cool, and one charm is enough to take down the Alolan Raichu, so good game, very well played. All right, into round 3, we have Medicham versus Houndoom, and Medicham does super effective damage with the fast move, while Houndoom does super effective damage against Medicham with the charge move, so that was an interesting matchup. We saw a switch by Gmoney into Poliwrath, and unfortunately for Gmoney, there is a Charmer in the back, so Wigglytuff is able to do quite a bit of damage and farm up a lot of energy to launch against the Alolan Ninetales. That's a nice shield there, even though Alolan Ninetales is part Ice type. Ice Beam would still chunk. So here we see a Weather Ball come through, and SWIFTicune lets it go and brings in Umbreon. That's a very risky move because Umbreon is weak to Fairy type, so the charm damage coming off of A-Tails is going to be dramatic. We've seen a lot of damage come through already, so this is not looking great for SWIFTicune. They do have shield advantage, but oh, wow, an aggressive swap into Medicham with that loaded energy, and doesn't go for the Psychic. Psychic would have KO'd, but goes for the power-up punch. This is a pretty interesting play because they're just strengthening their attack. Oh yeah, so doing massive damage with counterattacks, and then one more power-up punch is enough to beat the Houndoom. So that was quite a play, getting to those power-up punches. That was a double boosted power-up punch at the end, doing super effective damage. That's rough. Okay, that was a pretty bad matchup for the Abomasnow, I think, at the start. So we saw a swap into a Poison Jab Roserade, so that's pretty cool. And this Roserade also has access to Weather Ball Fire, so that's going to be doing super effective damage against the Stunfisk. So Stunfisk definitely would have resisted the poison attacks, so that was a pretty good plan there by Gmoney, but unfortunately the Weather Ball attack was perhaps unexpected and definitely doing super effective damage there. Okay, and the Poliwrath does put up a shield, so that's unfortunate for Gmoney, but great for SWIFTicune. So SWIFTicune baited with the fire attack, but that could have been a Grass Knot, so I certainly understand throwing up the shield on Gmoney's part. This is an interesting switch because we have the Politoed coming in, which is just going to be doing resisted damage to the Poliwrath. By the way, these are two evolutions in the same lineage, so that's kind of interesting to see them against each other. Unfortunately for Gmoney, the Poliwrath puts up a shield against another move that was just a bait, so that left Gmoney at shield disadvantage and created an opening for SWIFTicune to come in with the Abomasnow and start building up energy. I think that SWIFTicune can let this go and the ice attack will just be neutral. Yeah, so that's not quite enough to KO. And then the Roserade comes back in and has a Weather Ball ready. Weather Ball Fire is definitely going to KO. So that's nicely done energy management on the part of SWIFTicune. And that was, I think, very good defensive play from Gmoney as well. Because I definitely would have also used shields in the same way. If you're not sure whether or not your Poliwrath is about to get hit by a Grass Knot, you don't want to risk that happening, right? So good plays from both folks, but it happened to work out in SWIFTicune's favor here. Okay, and into the last match. This is a positive lead for SWIFTicune, and we're not seeing a lot of mud shots coming off of that Galarian Stunfisk, so I think there was some lag on Gmoney's part, which is unfortunate. Also, we saw a shield go up where a shield probably didn't need to be there, but maybe, again, because there was lag, they weren't sure if the switch was going to happen in time or whatever, so that is unfortunate. We do see the Play Rough go through against the shiny Granbull, but Granbull is able to get a shield from that Azumarill, so that's a very good play on Gmoney's part, and Gmoney is able to bring in the Alolan Executor. Fairy-type moves will do a fair amount of neutral damage, so yeah, that's a pretty good shield there, and we probably want to see some Seed Bombs coming through. But okay, so SWIFTicune is just going to let it go and try to save the shield, and in comes Hypno. Hypno is going to block this. It could be a Dragon Pulse, which would be quite a bit of damage. It wouldn't be enough to KO for sure. Usually I let things go with Hypno on the first move because Hypno can tank a lot of damage, but that's all right. So we're back to the same situation. We have the Stunfisk versus the Obstagoon. I probably would have gone for Cross Chop there just to make sure that I KO'd, but maybe SWIFTicune was trying to go for the boost so that he could use it. Or maybe SWIFTicune wanted the Obstagoon to go down so that he could farm up a little extra energy. Now he's ready with Shadow Ball on Hypno, whereas he would have had to farm up to it against the Executor if he would have KO'd the Stunfisk there. So that's really good timing on SWIFTicune's part. Nice job taking the final win there, and a great job from both battlers. Gmoney is a very good brute force player, right? Shield up the things that can use the strongest attacks and do the most fast move damage, and it worked out quite a bit of the time. And SWIFTicune is just really great with energy management and keeping control of the kind of pacing of the match. So I think those were really high level plays. I definitely enjoyed watching these two go head to head, and I hope that you did too. So that was round or game 3 of round 1 of the Summer Hamm tournament, and we just have one more game in round 1 to go. I will upload that video soon, and I hope that you will watch along with us. Until next time, trainers.